So I was really struggling to figure out what I wanted to talk about for this week because I want to try to post my videos weekly, and yeah, that's kind of hard to do. And was gonna make a video about Class of '09 because I played all three of those games recently, and I really want to talk about those games. But after editing the video and getting all my recording done, there's way more I want to talk about with that game, and I don't really do scripts. I improvise all my videos, like I'm improvising right now. So, but the thing about it is that there's a lot to talk about with Class of '09, and I want to talk about a lot of different topics with Class of '09 because there's a lot to talk about with it. Because the game is deeper than, or at least I think it's deeper than what it is. So I want to talk about way more than that. So I was thinking, what's one thing that I really want to talk about because I just really enjoy it? And then I remembered I really like this little manga right here. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. Yeah, I'm a degenerate, and I don't care. Yeah, I love this manga. I think it's great, and I love it to death. I remember first buying this thing, and I was so scared to buy it. I was with my friend and siblings, and this was when I was just starting to get into manga. And I saw this, and I remember seeing a video from Mother's Basement talking about the best anime of whatever year it was. And he put Don't Toy With Me as Nagatoro on there. And time flies by, and then I see this at Books A Million, and I'm just like, I saw that video once. I know what that is. And I was very like I don't know. I was just very hesitant on getting the book because look at this cover, bro. Like, look at this cover. Like, what else is this supposed to imply? So I was very hesitant, but in the end, I got it, and then I read it, and bro, it's literally the greatest thing in the world. I fell in love with it immediately, and it took me a while to get all the volumes. Like, I couldn't get volume 2 or shit, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't get volume 6 or shit. So I had to wait to get all the volumes, and then once I finally got all the volumes and started reading it more, man, it's just so good. I love it to death. I think it's just such a great manga. I think it's cute. I think it's really well written, and I think it's adorable. So, sorry, I'm coming at this full swing, so let me just start explaining to you why I love this manga. I love a lot about Don't Toy With Me as Nagatoro. I think it's a really great manga. Yes, the creator of the story, good old boy Nanashi, was an ex-hentai artist. We do know this. Most people that have read the manga do know this. So yeah, but his art style makes the story so much better. I know that's weird to say, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. Okay. So, Nanashi's art style just really makes the story just that much greater, because his art style is so expressive in more, you could say more ways than one, but since his art style is so expressive, he's able to like write his story with with his expressions that he writes, or he's really good at visual storytelling. There are moments within the manga, this especially happens near the end of the story, but there are moments within the story where he just doesn't use any words, and he just lets the expressions of his characters just tell the story, and it really works, and it makes it hit that much harder, and it makes it that much cuter, because then you notice these characters' expressions, and you see how they're acting, and then you see and then it also works for the main characters of the story, like Nagatoro. When she sees the main character blushing, she's like making fun of him all that shit because she notices his expressions. I think the art style really does work for the story. I think it's amazing. It helps out the story so much, and I think it's just really well done in terms of art. Not only that, the art just develops from like looking like this and whatever I'm showing on screen at the moment to whatever the newer art style is. It looks so great. I think it's just really, really great. And not only that, the love story is just super uber good between the two main leads. Of course, they start off as like good friends and good buddies, and then it honestly feels like it doesn't feel like a friendship that's just say a friendship to begin with, and then they just happen to grow feelings for each other. It feels like a relationship that was actually meant to be a romantic relationship. I know that's weird to say, but Naoto, the main character, that's his name apparently. Naoto and Nagatoro just complement each other so well. Yes, a shy guy with an overly hyper girl coming together is like the most cliche thing in the world, but it works. And he does it in such an amazing way because Naoto develops Nagatoro while Nagatoro also develops Naoto, and it works. I love it. It works so well, especially with the scenarios that they're put in. It makes it work so well. Now, there are problems with some of it sometimes, like setting choices. Sometimes the settings that they're in is just very similar and samey, and they don't really move to anywhere else. But I'll get more into detail about that later. But overall, the way the creator writes it, it's just done in a really great way, in my opinion at least. Now, it doesn't help that the side characters just add to the story that much more, bro. Fucking Yoshi, Gamo, and I forgot the other chick's name. Whatever. And not only that, that president chick and man, I can't remember her name. Wait, one sec. Alright, I just checked what her name was. Tsunomiya. I love Tsunomiya. She is so, like, overly adorable in her support for Naoto. It's just not even funny. Not only that, I remember the other chick's name. It was Sakura. She also adds a lot. Like, they just do so much for the story. The side characters just make the relationship that much better because they aren't just used to be in the background for anything like that, or they have their own kind of side quest that the story decides to divulge and focus on, which some anime stories do, but you know, it's fine when they do it. But the way Doto's Nagatoro does it is a little different because the side characters, or it's not really different if you could even consider it cliche, but the side characters more so help the relationship develop, and it's done in such a fun way too, because while the main story could be happening, the side characters could be doing something completely different, but in the end it still helps out the relationship. Like the one side story where it's like the fake date thing, and it's like the biggest cliche thing ever, but since it's like a fake date thing, Nagatoro and her friends want to like record it and see some funny stuff happen. so they're doing something completely different, but in the end this is helping Sakura or making us realize that Nagatoro is very possessive of Naoto. So there's that aspect to it. There was also one moment where Gamo decided to like spar with Nagatoro's brother just so he doesn't like ruin whatever was happening in that chapter, which was very odd, but it worked, I guess. I feel like the side characters just really help the story a whole bunch, and I think it just makes the story just that much great. Especially Yoshi. Yoshi is a really cute, hilarious side character to watch. I think I just really enjoy her company. I just really enjoy the side character, just everything about Dotoyo's Mi's Nagatoro, which is why I have a little Ninroid. Look at her. See, look how happy she is. I keep her near my manga. I keep her near my my Nagatoro volumes. I have all 17, by the way, that have been released in America. At this moment in this time, only 17 volumes have been released. So just be prepared. I'm going to get all 20 volumes. In terms of the ending, the story did just kind of end. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, the creator, or Nanashi, said that he was just gonna end the story after a few chapters, and he ended it. Like he said, he felt like he told the story he wanted to tell, and then he just ended the story. And yeah, he just kind of ended it. It wasn't really like to a big climax or anything like that, or seeing these two get married or anything like that. It just ended, and he told the story he wanted to tell, and I can respect that. Even though I feel like the story has way more potential than what he's letting on, or if he felt that way and he wanted to end it, that's perfectly fine. He ended it. That's perfectly fine by me. Now, the time to get into the problems with the story definitely does have some setting issues, because the setting is just kind of stuck between just only a few locations most of the time, and that's either at the characters' homes or at the school. They do go to like some other unique places, but overall it's like those are kind of the main settings. And when they do go to other settings, it's not like they go to anything like big or special like that. They just kind of just go to like some of the other weird cliche stuff that happens within like romance manga. Like they go to a festival, they go to a little park, they go to a zoo. That's really about it. Like nothing real interesting happens with the setting all that much, and that's just romance manga entirely. Most of the time it's just normal ass settings where most people go for like enjoyment time and having fun, but overall setting does have a little bit of problems. Not only that, I was just praising the art style, but the art style could be a blessing and a curse, because the so the I just said how Nanashi, the author, was a ex-hentai artist. Yeah, that you can definitely see that within the art style. It doesn't help that there are literal arcs dedicated to characters just being naked for no reason. Like, they don't have to be this way, yet the creator just decides to do it out of fan service. That dumb thing about anime fans, but yeah, fan service. And it just makes a lot of the scenes feel very awkward and weird. Like, they don't have to be this way, but the creator just decided that, oh, it's gonna be this way. Now, only like one arc or one moment within the story used I know it's weird to say, but only one part of the story used it somewhat properly, but it was still very weird, because it still shouldn't have happened, and it still shouldn't have like these characters be drawn because they're underage and all that shit. So yeah, it's still very odd, but yeah, that's just one of the weirder parts about it. I think Nagatoro is a really great story. The anime, if I were to comment on the anime, I think the anime is just very okay. The first season was pretty good. It had some changes in there that I didn't like, but it also had some changes there that I did kind of like. I like some of the different structural issues, and it kind of allowed the animators to just, animate. Season 2, I feel like, was kind of a downgrade, because now while it fits more in line with the way the manga is, it's definitely not as like big on its animation, and I feel like that was one of the strengths of the first season, was definitely its animation. It just sucks that the next season just focused more in on being more into the way the manga is, rather than just trying to grab the manga and taking what animation can do and just turn the story into something really good with great animation. But overall, I think the anime is just okay. I think the story is just way better in terms of a manga, because it just does things way better than what the anime has done with it. But that's just my opinion about it. But yeah, I love the Don't Toy With Me, It's Nagatoro. It's literally my favorite manga. I don't know what to tell you. I just really love the manga, because it's a story that makes me happy. I love like watching these characters just do simple little things. And Naoto's and Nagatoro's relationship is just so sweet and cute. I really enjoy it, and seeing both the characters develop from each other is great. And the side characters just add so much more to the story too. Not only that, the art style is pretty to look at most of the time. And it's just a story that I just find enjoyable, and I really enjoy it. It's just a story that just makes me happy. If I were to tell you this, if I were to tell you what like the, if I were to tell you the story that could have topped this and hasn't topped this yet, you would probably be pissed off at me. But I'm gonna save that for later because I still haven't even caught up on that story yet. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, do all that kinds of other stuff, and see ya.